training is time consuming. It's hard to keep up. I feel like we're very reactive. We don't get to be proactive. We're always playing catch up. So I'm hoping to give you some strategies where, yes, training is the answer, but how do we focus it? How do we get the best return on investment? How do we do it as individuals and as organizations? One of the things I like to do when I'm thinking about training is to narrow my focus to core devices. Typically, duopolies aren't good, right? That's why we all hate like cable companies and cell phone companies. You don't have a lot of options. It's not good for competition, but it is good in the sense that it gives you clarity on what's out there. And when we think about that mobile work environment and those mobile devices our patrons have, 99% of the time, if somebody's walking in with a smartphone, a tablet, it's going to be an Android device or it's going to be an iOS device, right? So you have some clarity there. And most of us, not all of us to be clear, but most of us have one of those devices. So we already have some experience with the operating system itself. And when you focus on the operating system, it can put you in a good spot, really, because think about how long the shelf life is on understanding an operating system. Think about the first iPhone and think about the different iterations of the iPhone. We oftentimes joke, right? Every year or two, they come out with a new iPhone and it's just a new little tiny feature to get your attention, to get you excited. But overwhelmingly, the navigation outside of losing the home button one time, which was like a revelation, right? It's incremental, pinch, swipe, tap, those things still work. The settings still look similar. So when you understand an operating system, the different devices that come in, you can figure it out, right? When we think about those other devices, e-readers, for example, really they come in two flavors, Nook, and the Kindle is so much of the marketplace. So you can focus on the 80, 90% of what's going to come through and just get comfortable with that device on the basic operation. Hands-on is the best way to learn. And oftentimes we're about 50% there, right? Because if you think about when somebody's an expert on the iPhone, it's not like they went to iPhone University. It's that they own the device and they use it in their day-to-day. So that mobile kind of mastery, that comfort, you're halfway there oftentimes. Having just a small pool collection where you can get hands-on and just experience it goes a long ways to preparing you for most of what's going to come through the door. The other thing that I think we often do wrong is we spend so much time on memorization, and that's just at odds with how the world works right now. I prefer referral information over memorization. Memorization takes a long time, it's time intensive, and imagine if I memorize exactly how to download an ebook, for example. The second is an update to like Libby, and the thing that used to be in the top right corner is no longer in the top right corner. All of a sudden I'm lost because I've developed a muscle memory that's unhelpful. At the same time, if you just get comfortable with an operating system, then this is the generation where you can find anything on YouTube that's a tutorial. So you can find task-specific instructions and follow those. You need to know how to navigate the operating system, and then you're trying to change maybe a setting, a privacy setting, or you're trying to download an ebook. You can find the referral information, follow the instructions, and already have that baseline comfort in Android and iOS, for example. That's a real time saver. Don't waste your time memorizing all those task-specific things. And ultimately, it comes down to locate, curate, create. You locate good referral information. Many of the services we use have help information. Many times, if you're looking for a piece of information, you can find it on YouTube or the actual manufacturer's website. Then you curate the stuff. When you get stumped or you find a great resource, don't just save it for yourself, but save it organizationally. Come up with a filing system so you have good referral information for yourself, for your patrons. That places you in a better spot. I recall New York Public Library used to have like, they used to keep on index cards, right? Those really difficult questions that they got stumped about. This is a more modern version of that. And then if you can't find good information, good referral information, and you have to kind of go through that investigative process, the best thing you can do is create a tutorial that you can use again, and share with others to help them, because again, collectively, we can make all of our jobs easier. To that end, there's some really good creativity tools. Screen recording function on iPad is like a game changer. I'm going to show you how that works in a little bit, but it's just the best. It's a nice, easy way to make a tutorial on a commonly used device. And the similar functionality on Android, for example. When you're using a computer, ShareX is a good option to do screen recordings, to quickly create a tutorial that can help serve as referral information. Then you don't have to worry about memorizing. You already have kind of a blueprint on how to do it. You're spending much less time just keeping current on operating systems.